Afternoon, everyone. I just got through eating my meal for the day. Uh, Boiled potatoes, peeled, fried, and with 3 eggs and some root beer. So, anyway, I wanted to ask y'all, what is each one of you's most prized way of being able to uh, acquire and have all of your needs met, your wants, and to have a good life? Um, and there's many ways of having capital, many ways. First of all, most people have worked a job in their life, and a lot of people have taken their gifts and their talents and made a career out of it. They went. A lot of people went to college to learn different things, and they went out there and acquired jobs and a lot of people's capital is money. And then a lot of other people's capital is money and assets. But you know what? A lot of people don't really look at. People look at I gotta have a job in order to have money to put a roof over my head, to put food in my belly, to buy clothes, um, to be able to buy different things to entertain myself, go out on vacation, and different things. But there's more capital out here in this world that don't include money, that you don't need money to live a good life with. But if you do have money, you can add this extra to it. Say for instance, you got a job that only pays $200 a week. That's 4 weeks in a month. That's what, $1,600 a month, and your rent is 1,200. Well, what can you look at? Because first of all, your knowledge is capital. You can use your knowledge to, uh, in various degrees, in different things. Like, okay, I have knowledge, and I never went to school for it. I taught myself this in various little other things. Like I taught myself how to work with cameras, uh, videos, computers. I can set up a Roku on my TV to get free TV. Um, I can. I taught myself to play the electric keyboard and a little bit of the piano part. And I have that knowledge, that ability built inside of me to do that. And a lot of you have the ability to uh, paint by memory without even looking at it. You've seen it once before, and you can sit there and paint a beautiful picture that you could sell. People would want to buy. Um, Writing songs. I can write songs. I've not sold any of them yet. Haven't even tried, in fact. Um, but that is capital. If we just can get it going and get it going in the right direction. Writing books. If you can sit down and write a book, and all it takes is your knowledge of your life and what you know and what you've learned throughout life, a computer or a typewriter of some sort, paper, and you can sit down and write yourself a book, send it in to a publisher. Of course, a lot of people, they send to a lot of publishers. But again, there's other aspects that I can show you that can go with that to get your book published or your songs published and different things like that. Capital, YouTube. This is capital for me. With my wisdom and my experience in life and the knowledge that I've learned throughout life that I put on here, it's not making me much income, but it's making me enough to, if I fall short by the end of the month, I've got I've got something to back me up with. I use my knowledge and my wisdom and a lot of my gifts and talents that I haven't used a whole lot on here. But there's different roadblocks that you have to get past in different things. But that's where the knowledge comes in to help you with that capital. That you're not going out and working a job. You're working. You can go ahead and work your job or your career and use other aspects of your life to add extra capital to you. Uh, Maybe you crochet. Maybe you don't have the health that you need to get up and go out and get a job, but you are a fixed income. You're living on your Social Security from the years that you worked. And you can crochet real good or knit. I learned a little bit of crochet with yarn. Knit? I don't know if it was knitting. No, I don't think it was knit. I think it was crochet. I learned a little bit. I can do the little square thing and fasten the squares together and make an sort of like an Afghan type deal. Um, but you can take that because people love that stuff for one thing, and you can take and market that and sell that as extra income. And of course, it takes a little bit of patience to get it going and get it running. But again, that's where this other thing, the very top-notch capital that we all have. Um, you love animals. You're good with animals. You can. Uh, I don't know how. Well, I did breed dogs for a while, and I made some good money doing that. And that was without me really knowing everything that I needed to know. But with knowledge and more understanding, I could have done a better job. Um, I, Animals, I mean, it's like you go um, um, walk dogs, and that helps you get your exercise stuff in there too. You can babysit, house sit animals. I mean, there's just so many things that we have within us that can add capital to us. And it's not necessarily money that we're starting out with. We're starting out with our gifts and our talents. And you can, um, on the side, you don't have to go to voice lessons. If you're a singer, you can give voice lessons. If you can play the piano real good, you can give piano lessons. Any kind of instrument. Like with the keyboard now, I could give some people some lessons on how to do the keyboard part with the already music in it and stuff. And if I wanted, so it's your gifts and your talents you'd be surprised. It is a great capital that can add to your uh, life to bring um, more wealth, more abundance into your life, and that you don't have to depend on a backbreaking job for everything. And there's just it's wild beyond belief. That's just like, okay, um, people that love animals, and you got a little bit of ground. Instead of going out there and buying, if you eat meat, and I know a lot of people don't like to do the hard part about the chickens, and fixing them so that you can cook them and eat them. But you can have chickens and raise them, and they'll lay eggs and/or ducks, turkeys, and you'll get the eggs. You can eat the eggs, um, and that's a capital. That's money that you don't have to spend out there in the store and buy that stuff. And they're just so we're wealthier than we really realize, y'all. Look around. Look around. You got your health. Let's say, like for me. Moreover, I have my health. The only thing that I have a problem with right now is being able to move fast enough, and because if I could move fast, if I didn't have the pain, I could move faster. But right now, that's just a little bit of a setback. But for the most part, I have my health. I have my mind. I have my mouth. I have my eyes. I have my arms and hands. Um, I can speak. I can pretty much. I'm 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 wealthy because of that capital I've got. I'm wealthy because of the knowledge that I've got that I went to college and learned that, and it comes in handy. The associate's degree that I've got, I could, if I so chose to, go out and work out there. But I could also use that knowledge on a channel on here. And it's a matter of organizing yourself, and it takes your brain, it takes a good brain, it takes a good mind, it takes a good thought process, and the other knowledge that it takes to organize everything, that you could put um, a program together to teach what I learned in college with criminal justice. And that's just like my son. He can play the guitar, and he taught himself to play the guitar. Man, he could he could set up a program and do it on YouTube, and he's got his own platform. He don't really have to pay for anything. He's got his phone. He can sit there and play and teach people different chords and stuff, and he don't even have to face them. Don't even have to be there with them. And people would flock to that channel, and he could earn capital that way. And or he could have uh, learning sessions, that people would pay him to individually teach them. So the the talent and the capability each one of us have We got our own built-in capital. And and then and I'm just touching the surface. The having your own property, having your own well, setting that stuff all up. You got your well. How much money are you saving? Not having to buy city water. If you had solar, free sun. Of course, it takes a little time to. It takes a little bit of money to begin with to get that, but then you have the bartering system that if you got this over here, that you could barter with somebody else with an outfit, a solar outfit, a solar generator or something. You know, we got so much around us and so much capital that it's it's just amazing. I'm wealthy. I am so wealthy that the creativeness that's within me, that I can take things that other people think they can't do, but they could do, because we're all built with that. And take thrift store stuff or find something alongside the road that somebody else threw away, and I can bring it into my home, and I don't have to go out and buy it. Maybe I might have to paint it a little bit or varnish it up a little bit or something, or and wash it like my clothes. The capital that I have in my creativity is beyond the money that I would need to go out and be able to do all the things that I can do with my creativity. People and companies pay for that. It's just amazing. So look around and see how wealthy you are. And I'll say this to everybody, even even somebody that's living on the street. Do you realize how wealthy you are? Now we're going to get to the biggest available capital that everyone has. Everyone on this planet has it. Every human being has built within them the ability to achieve whatever it is that they need in their life to live a comfortable, meaningful, wonderful, happy life. And we were born with it. Just like we were born with all the, like my creativity and plus what I learned along the way added to that. People that are born with knowing how to play a piano right off the bat. Everybody that's on this planet was brought into this world with everything built within them in their brain, because I know a lot of you have heard that the human race only uses about 10% of their brain capabilities. We have the ability. We've got our imagination, we've got our thought process, and learn critical thinking, and this is along with any education or knowledge that we've gathered. Our imagination, along with our belief system that's built within us, because we can believe we're rich or poor, and we will be either. take that imagination, say you're living in a cardboard box, or you're living in a tent on the street. And if you don't stop and think about woe is me kind of deal, and you start going within and thinking, start imagining. There was a time that we used to daydream. Well, it's like daydreaming, but it's more powerful, more intense, more focused, and you can sit and imagine yourself out of that cardboard box. Because once you get the image in your mind where you'd like to be other than that cardboard box or that tent, and you stay focused on that, and when you speak it, and you believe it, you're going to have a better place to live other than a cardboard box. And you stay focused on that. But here's the thing, you've also got to listen to messages that you're getting to do this or do that. And you might say, well, I can't do that. I've heard that different times, and I say, well, I can't do that. But you can do that. If that inner knowing is telling you to do something that's not going to hurt other people, it's not going to, in any way, shape, or form, hurt somebody else, then you follow that intuition, because that's what that is. That's intuition. Speaking to you about what direction to go in. That is the most powerful capital that every human being on this earth has. And it doesn't take money to do that. If you want to be healthy and well, and I'm not saying it'll happen overnight, because there's different things and obstacles that this creative energy force has to go through to undo a bunch of other stuff. And when you're prompted to follow certain things, like with your health or something like that, don't eat this, don't do that, then you follow those promptings. But you can sit and imagine yourself, it's like me, now I do it all the time. I imagine myself running like I used to run, happily and gleefully. And you can think and speak yourself right out of that tent, out of that cardboard box. You can think and create yourself right out of that sickness that somebody else told you that you had. And then you end up telling yourself that you have it. So, and who do you believe more than anybody? A lot of people believe anything a doctor will tell them. And why do they do that? Because we've been programmed to do that. So we need to unprogram what we've been programmed with and know that our biggest capital, besides our job, beside our creativeness that can bring in more capital to add to our career or our job, is our imagination, our ability to see it and believe it and speak it, and not budge from that. The discipline that it would take not to listen to the naysayers. In fact, don't even tell anybody what you're doing. Just keep it to yourself. If people out on the street and you're in a cardboard box, don't go around telling everybody, this is what I'm going to know. Speak it to yourself and believe it for yourself. Nobody else out there needs to know. because they are the naysayers. They are the ones that will bring to you, no, you're crazy, that can't happen. So, our imagination, our thoughts, our belief, and our words is our biggest capital, our greatest capital, because all that comes from the Creator to begin with. So, anyway, yeah, look around, and with that, with all that, if you could sit and think about, well, like there's a lady on here, and there's many of you out there, and that I haven't really looked into yet, especially some of you that have the YouTube channels and stuff. Um, Reselling and thrifting. She takes her gifts and her talents. Um, by she goes and buys big boxes of different kinds of clothing, and I imagine she rethrifts them. That's what I'm gathering from her, and I have watched a few of her videos. I hadn't got the grasp of it yet, exactly what she does, but yeah, she's using her gifts and talents for thrifting and knowing what's going to sell and what's not going to sell. And she's got a YouTube channel with it. Use what you've got, and I don't mean just in material things. Use your gifts, your talents. If you've got ground, use your ground for um, maybe having a couple cows or uh, have some chickens. Um, Maybe help other people set them up a camper but people you can trust. I'm not saying just put anybody out there, but I'm saying use your capital and your gifts and talents. But your biggest capital is your imagination, your faith, your belief, your intuition, and your words. So remember, a merry heart doeth good like medicine, but a broken spirit will dry up your bones. And Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man or a woman thinks and believes in their heart, that's the direction they will take their life. And if you believe you can or if you believe you can't, you're going to have either. If you believe you can't do nothing at all, if you believe you can't have enough money to pay your rent, if you believe you don't have enough money to um, eat, then you're not going to have enough. But if you believe you can, some way, somehow, you're going to sit down and figure out how you can. And and when you start speaking it, there's going to be opportunities to help you do that. So, remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch the ads, because it puts my videos out in the algorithm where other people can learn what you're learning. We'll talk to you. Y'all have a great day. Love y'all.